Yo, what is happening, guys, and welcome back to the Let's Talk Fighting channel. As you can tell by the title on the thumbnail, yes, we'll be talking about the Misfits Awards. I literally just did my prediction video on Misfits 12. If you haven't seen that, I'll put it up somewhere on the screen now, probably over my face. I don't know. Do I look like a video yet? A thumbnail, maybe? I don't know. I'll put it somewhere. And if you haven't seen that yet already, it is literally up. It went up yesterday if you want to see my predictions of that. But today we're going to be talking about the Misfits Awards. Misfits 12 is literally tomorrow, which means the awards are getting announced tomorrow. And now we got to give our prediction on it. I want you to let me know down in the comments below who do you think should win each award and why. And just give me your predictions, but also your opinions. This is literally just going to be my opinions today, who I think should win each award. And that's what we're going to go over. Now, not to waste any more time, let's get right into it. First award is Male Fighter of the Year, and the participants is Dean the Great, Slim, Anthony Taylor, and KSI. In my opinion, I think Dean the Great wins Fighter of the Year. I think Dean the Great wins Fighter of the Year because he's never had a bad fight this year, and he's been consistent. He obviously had the tag team match with Wally Sharks. He's had the other fights whenever it was building up to the rematch Wallet Sharks. Then he had the Wallet Sharks fight. In the Wallet Sharks fight, we thought it was going to be a close fight. The first fight was a close fight. Waleed was winning the whole time, and then Dean landed that punch and won the fight. This time, I thought it would be a close fight. Dean put a beating on Waleed, and I was cheering for Waleed, but Dean put a beating on that man. So to come from where he was last year to where he is this year was insane. Whether you like Dean the Great or not, he's improved. He's the best fighter this year. If you were to rank them, he would definitely most improve 100%. But I'm putting him at top male because he fought. I don't know how many times he fought last year. Sorry, he fought maybe about 3 times, 4 times. He fought on a tag team with Waleed. He fought Waleed, and then I think he fought 2 times leading up to that fight, and he hasn't lost. He's put on a great performance every time. Everyone you've put in front of him, he's beaten, and he's beaten convincingly. There's been no if, buts, or maybes about his performances. There's been no lacklusterness about his performances. Every single performance, every single time he's in the ring, it's entertaining, and you don't want to blink because you might miss something. So I think Male Fighter of the Year is hands down 100%. No disrespect to anybody else. Dean the Great, and that is it. Then we got Misfits Female Fighter of the Year. Participants Astrid Wet, Julie Polka, Alexan, Alina Vampire, and AJ Bunker. I think it is Julie Polka. Now, if this is Misfits fighter, Julie Polka's only had one fight on Misfits. Astrid Wet's obviously had more and all this. I think it's Julie Polka for the simple fact of Julie Polka, if we're talking about Female Fighter of the Year, I'm just doing this overall, not just on Misfits, but overall throughout the year. She fought on Kingpin. She fought Elbrook. A lot of people thought Elbrook was going to beat her. I'm pretty sure I picked Elbrook to beat her because Elbrook was like the woman in the female YouTube scene that was like, okay, if you go up against Elbrook, you're going to be in a war because she's just going to keep coming forward. And she did. But Julie Polka pushed her the fuck back. And then Julie Polka came over to Misfits and put on a beating and showed, okay, she's running for that title. She has a chance to potentially get that title. And if Elle wins against AJ Bunker, I want to see, if Elle wins that title from AJ Bunker, I want to see her give Julie Polka a shot. Because Julie Polka's earned at this point with 2 performances like that. I want to see it. And I just think Julie Polka is definitely Female Fighter of the Year for the simple fact of she literally comes out. They all just go for it. But she is technique, but she also just has a complete brawling mentality. She comes out and she puts the beating on, and she keeps walking forward regardless. You could hit her with a fucking frying pan, she keep coming forward. I think it's Julie Polka, 100%. I know she's only had one fight on Misfits. If you're judging it off Misfits fighter, maybe you'd think differently. But if we're talking about overall fighter of 2023 in the female YouTube scene, Julie Polka. You may disagree and let me know in the comments below if you do, but I think it's Julie. Then we move on. Misfits Knockout of the Year. It is KSI on FaZe Temper, Slim on Salt Poppy, Ed Matthews on Swarms, and Salt Poppy on Josh Bruckner. Now, this is a close one. This is either between KSI on FaZe Temper or Slim on Salt Poppy. I'm going to give it to Slim on Salt Poppy. I think KSI on temper is it's like this, based what you're judging off. If we're judging it off the flashier knockout, I like KSI on temper. That was a nice knockout. It's because he overthrew it in the karate style, overthrew it, came with the left hook, knocked him out. So if we were talking about overall just knockout, like the look of it, KSI over temper is 100% the best knockout there. But if we're talking about impressive knockout, when Slim knocked out Sol Poppy, that was impressive because a lot of people had Sol Poppy beating Slim. And in the fight, Sol Poppy was arguably winning 3 rounds to nothing. Some people say he was winning 2-1. I think he was probably up 3. And he was putting the beating on Slim. And Slim came back and beat him. And, KSI knocking out Face Temper, no disrespect to Face Temper, isn't the same as Slim knocking out Sol Poppy. So if we're talking about flashiness and overall look, KSI went on Face Temper 100%. But if we're talking about impressive knockout, I'm going Slim over Sol Poppy every day. Because when he knocked out, I think I picked Sol Poppy to win. When Slim won, I wasn't shocked Slim won. But I definitely didn't expect Slim to just knock him down and then him to get back up and then to put a beating on per Poppy. I did not expect it. But it's between those two. That is my two candidates. Depending on what you're going off, that is my two answers. But if we're just going off, the knockout, then KSI on temper. But impressively, Slim on Sol Poppy. That's my opinion. Right, then. Misfits fight of the year. I already know this one. Dane the Great versus Wally Sharks 2. Slim versus Sol Poppy. Wasabi Lamau versus Los Pineda Coladas and Jarvis versus B Dave. It is Dane the Great versus Wally 2. And a lot of people may disagree with this because it was more of a one-sided fight. But I still think it was fight of the year because every single time they could fight 100 times and I will watch it 100 times, even if I know the outcome. Because when Dean's beating Waleed, the case is he's beating Waleed and he's winning convincingly. It's one of those cases because they both have power in their hands, they both have speed. Waleed could just land a punch at any point and Dean could be out, just like the first fight when Waleed was putting the beating on Dean and Dean landed that punch, or Dean could land that punch and finish Waleed. It was one of those fights that had me on the edge of my seat. The build up was insane. One of the best, if not the best, build up for a YouTube boxing event because of just complete rivalry and bitterness and beef that they had and how long it took to set up the rematch. I think that was 100%. That was the one that had me on the edge of my fucking seat. You know what I mean? There were some other good fights, but that was the one that I was not bored for a single second. My food came. Me and my friends ordered a Chinese delivery. I didn't care. I was going to let that food go cold before I took my eyes off that goddamn screen. I was entertained, so it's going to Dane and Wally too. And that is it. Then, we move on to Misfits. Best Misfits moment. And that is Dean Wally tag team. Pineda mystery reveal. First ever tag team or Slim Sol Poppy announcement. See, it depends. I know my answer. I'll say this. When it comes to the hype, I think was Slim and Sol Poppy, because when that got announced, we were like, oh shit, okay. We got Slim and Sol Poppy, two people who are at the top of their game, who we want to see fight, who we didn't think were going to fight. Now we got it on the Prime card, which is a stacked card. Slim and Sol Poppy, that's going to be one that has the potential to take away from the main event, the co-main event, all this and that. That was the only fight that I think give Waleed and Dean like a run for their money, and I thought had an opportunity to do so. So the announcement was great. But what I'm going to pick just for the sheer meme and funniness was the Pineda reveal whenever he came out as the Undertaker, essentially. The lights went out, the Undertaker's music hit, and then Pineda appeared. For hype, Sol Poppy and Slim, but I'm picking Pineda mystery reveal because I feel like that was such an iconic moment, because I remember sitting with my friends and they turned around and said, oh, it's a mystery reveal. And I remember just literally turning to my friends and saying, oh, imagine it's the Undertaker, as a joke. And then the lights go out and you're done like the Undertaker. And I remember I was like, no way. Because I was like, I just said, imagine it's the Undertaker. And then he comes out with the Undertaker entrance not even a second later. So to me, that was definitely one of the... It was funny and it was hype. So it's definitely taking the trophy because I laughed and I was hyped as shit. Because everyone... took the piss out of Pineda, and then we all loved him for coming back, and it was just a really funny meme, and it was just great. It brought him and B Dave, it made them two fight, and then it made them a tag team, and I think B Dave is very entertaining. And I don't think that B Dave would have got the opportunities without that moment happening. I think that was a very important moment in YouTube boxing. Whether you like Pineda or not, I think it is for the content wise, 100%. So it's going to Pineda Undertaker mode. Then we got feud of the year, which was Logan Paul versus Dylan Dennis, Dean the Great versus Waleed Sharks, and KSI versus Tom Fury. I'm gonna keep short and sweet. Dean the Great versus Waleed Sharks, like I said, arguably the best build up of any YouTube boxing fight. Aside maybe KSI and Logan Paul too, because it was just constantly intense and it went on for over a year, and we constantly thought, oh, Waleed was winning the last fight, and then like Dean just landed that punch, but could Dean beat him this time? And we were so like, some people were thinking Waleed was going to make easy work of Dean. Some people thought Dean was going to make easy work of Waleed. Some people didn't fucking know. That's how good that fight was, and that's how good the build up to it. They had to tag together for God's sake and be best friends, and came out to "You Got a Friend in Me" from Toy Story, and they tagged really well. And then they had the scrap. They finally got the scrap. 100% best build up. That was the feud of the year, hands down. I don't think anybody will disagree with me. The KSI and Tommy Fury one, yeah, that was cool. We all wanted to see KSI beat Tommy Fury, but the build up wasn't anything special. Dylan Dennis versus Logan Paul, the Dylan Dennis thing, the whole thing with Nia, that was really funny, to be fair. But actual build up, I don't think anyone's going to disagree with me when I say Dean versus Wally. Then we go Coach of the Year, which is London Shoe Fighters, Malik Scott, Dilly Peralez, Saddam Ali, and Coach Soul. Now, I actually don't know who my Coach of the Year is. I'm just going to put two, and I'm going to say Malik Scott, because Malik Scott probably trained someone like Dean the Great or something. Someone really good. He probably trained someone like, I actually don't know much about the coaches. Or London Shoe Fighters. I'm pretty sure London Shoe Fighters is like where KSI trains. And if it's London Shoe Fighters, I'll give it to them for the simple fact that they train KSI, and KSI won everything aside Tommy Fury fight. They trained Arms, and Arms came back and won two fights, so you kind of have to give it to them. So if they're the ones that train KSI and Arms, I'll give it to them. Dilly Peralez, he's the main one I'm familiar with. I'm not going to give it to him because he trains Kenny, he trains Deji, and I think he does a good job. But Deji hasn't been consistent, and Kenny isn't consistently winning. You know what I mean? Because Kenny is just coming off a loss versus Anthony Taylor. So I'm going to give it to London Shoe Fighters, assuming that is KSI's coach. I'm not too familiar with the coaches. If not, I'll give it to Malik Scott, because I just know Malik Scott is a great coach anyway. Then we move on to the not so big ones, but best ring walk. Anthony Taylor, Joe Fournier, Slim, and Luis Pineda. I think this one's easy. I think Slim has the best ring walks, because he always just comes down. You expect fighters to come down intense with good intense music. He comes down fucking singing YMCA, singing. I'm surprised he didn't walk down to the Prime card playing "I'm Just Can't." Wait, did that release by then? The Barbie movie? I don't know. I'm surprised he didn't come down singing "I'm Just Can" though. Like, I very am, but I'm giving it to Slim. Slim's always entertaining when he comes out, because he always just picks a song like Backstreet Boys, and you just vibe, and you're like, yeah, they're gonna punch each other in a minute, but I'm singing Backstreet Boys, so I don't really care for that right now. And it's literally just so funny. It's a vibe, bro. So Slim takes that. Best redemption arc: AJ Bunker, Luis Pineda, Swarms, and Anthony Taylor. I think there's only two top ones for this, and it's Luis Pineda, Swarms. They both fell to the hands of KSI, Mr. Knowledge. And I think Pineda had a good arc, because we all got sick of him and we all bullied him and said, "Oh, you suck, stop complaining about the back of your head. He didn't hit you in the back of the head. He fucking hit you in the stomach and you're complaining about the back of your head." And then we loved him. But I think Swarms had the best arc, because although Pineda had the best arc of going from hated to loved, Swarms went from literally having a dad bod, getting beat up by KSI, to losing a shit ton of weight, getting in good shape, being shredded as fuck, and then really improving and being able to fight in a survivor tag. And a lot of people think he won. Now, I do think Nick Lamar won. I think Swarms came second, but a lot of people think he won, and it's because he was the second best fighter there, in my opinion. If you think he's the best fighter, that's completely understandable. Swarms has had the best redemption arc, because not only because he went from losing the KSI to becoming better, right? But the fans are behind him more. he just had a better progression than Luis Pineda, and on top of that, he lost all the weight and got in shape. That's redemption arc, because the reason, well, he lost KSI anyway, but like one of the biggest things was people were like, oh, he's not in shape. He lost that and he's been in shape. That's impressive. Fair play to him for the amount of weight they lost. So I think the redemption arc goes to Swarms 100%. I'm fucking proud of that man. That man lost a lot of weight and got shredded as fuck, and then learned to box. Moving on, most technical boxer. Waleed Sharks, Dean the Great, Idris Virgo, Yudi Gang TV. I'm not counting Idris Virgo. Idris Virgo is not a fucking YouTube boxer. I don't know why he's on this list. I'm not counting him. I'm picking Dean the Great. Plain and simple, the same way he's the male fighter of the year. He's just the best technical boxer. I would have picked Waleed if Waleed fought the same way he did maybe a year ago, and Dean fought the same way he did a year ago, but Dean's improved so much. He's just a better technical boxer. He sets him up. Yudi Gang is quite a good technical boxer, but I think Dean the Great just takes it, and that is why he's also male fighter of the year. Best character: Pineda, B. Dave, Nick Lamau, Slim, Anthony Taylor. Now, this is going to be a controversial one. I'm going to base this off character, as in press conferences. I think Anthony Taylor is the best character. Now, I do not enjoy watching Anthony Taylor fight. I would rather go to sleep. That was the only fight on the Prime card. Well, maybe aside the main event. That was the fight on the Prime card. I genuinely said, like, I want my food to come right now so I can leave, walk down the hallway, and talk to the delivery driver, because I didn't want to watch it. I didn't even watch the full thing. Like, I was on my phone. It was terrible. But although Anthony Taylor is a very boring fighter, in press conferences he's very entertaining. He builds the hype. The fight doesn't, his execution isn't great, but his building for the fight and his funniness. It's the same with Chase Moore. I don't watch Chase Moore in press conferences and go, oh, this guy's gonna fuck someone up. He is intense. He's gonna knock someone out. I don't do that. I don't watch it for Anthony Taylor like either to go like, yeah, he's gonna knock someone out. I find them both entertaining because they're both funny in the type of meme way, which is they're cocky, they'll get under your skin, they'll talk all this shit, then they'll get in the ring and they'll talk like they're the best fighter in the world, and then they'll get in the ring and all they do is hug you. And I think that's hilarious. Obviously not when it comes to the boxing, but in the press conference, yes. So I'm giving it to Anthony Taylor. Best content creator: KSI, B Dave, Nick Lamau, Saul Poppy. Goes to B Dave 100%. Misfits Manor, B Dave was the MVP of that, and B Dave, I'm pretty sure, uploaded every single day for like 2 weeks leading up to the fight to promote the thing. A lot of YouTube boxers forget YouTube comes first. The reason people are paying to watch you is not because you're talented in boxing. You might be talented in boxing, but that's not the reason they're paying to watch you. They're paying to watch you because they're fans of your YouTube. So if you stop doing YouTube and just do boxing, well, then there's no point, because the whole point is it's YouTube boxing. That's why people pay, because we're paying to see people we like, not because we're like, this is world class, because it's not. We're paying to see them fight. So I think B Dave was 100% funny because he always just creates that funny comedy. He adds the YouTube to YouTube boxing, where it is a little bit cringy, but it's also just funny and just a meme, and it's not serious like normal boxing, because that is YouTube boxing. Just a complete shit show, and we love it like that. Most improved: B Dave, Swarms, Chase the Moore, Dean the Great. I'm going to go Dean the Great again. Swarms is a close second, because Swarms has improved a lot. But I think Dean the Great, again, from Waleed's fight last year, well, 2022 to last year, 2023, improved drastically every single fucking way. Best debut: Ed Matthews, Julie Polka, my mate Nate, Jarvis. I'm actually going to go with Ed Matthews. And the reason is, I don't think Ed Matthews had a great performance because he didn't get the chance to perform. The reason I'm going to give Ed Matthews, whether I like Ed Matthews or not, I have to give it to him. He finished Swarms in the first round in like 30 seconds. You have to give it to him. I think he had the best. He had the definition of a perfect debut. He got in there. He's game for it. I got to respect it. He's fucking game for it. He comes for it. And he landed that punch and he put Swarms down, and Swarms didn't get up. So he literally had the perfect definition of a perfect debut, because he just knocked out Swarms. So I'm giving it to Ed Matthews. And then lastly, best media coverage: Happy Punch, Fred Talks Fighting, The Breakdown, or Will and Wills. I'm going to give it to Fred Talks Fighting. I think he gives us good interviews. He gets interviews from the people that normally people don't get interviews from. And I think a good reason of that is 99% of the YouTube boxing community respect Fred and they love Fred, so they always give him interviews, and he is very consistent with it. Fred uploads interview after interview after interview. There's literally never a dead day. Fred is consistent with it, and I respect that. What I would say, Out of those four, I'm picking Fred. Overall, and I know some people aren't going to like this, but I don't care because it's my opinion. I would pick the Wade concept. It says the breakdown, which is Wade and Sensei, but Wade and Sensei do more podcast type videos, which are good. I enjoy them. But my favorite type of videos for YouTube boxing is to watch Wade's videos on his channel, where he edits himself, he breaks it down, and I just think his videos are the best overall. Because I just think he is, whether people think it or not, a decent knowledge in combat sports, and I think the Wade concept is the best. He's obviously not an optioner, so we're gonna go for Fred. But overall, no disrespect to Fred, I just think Wade is that bit better, and I think him and Sensei are good. The breakdown, I love it. But I just think when Wade's by himself, it's less of a podcast and more catered towards YouTube boxing, and that's why I like. I just realized I actually missed one of the awards, which was Best Misfits Promoter. That's between Dean the Great, Anthony Taylor, Slim, and KSI. Just to quickly give you my answer, they all do well in promoting it. Anthony Taylor does well in promoting his fights. Dean the Great does very well in promoting his fights. Slim does well in promoting his fights. But I'll give it to KSI, where it simply comes down to most people tune into KSI fights, but then also because KSI is one of the owners of Misfits, even when he's not fighting, like for Misfits 12 coming up, he's still there at every press conference. Even if he's not speaking much, he's there doing the interviews and all. Most fighters aren't there doing many interviews, where even when he's not fighting, he's still promoting it because it's his brand. So I'm going to give it to KSI. And that is it. Anyway, on to the outro. But that is all the rewards. That is who I think should win each reward. I don't even know how long this video is. Hopefully it's not too long. But just let me know down in the comments below who you think should win each reward, who you think deserves to win each reward. We'll find out on the day. You've obviously watched my predictions. If you haven't, like I said, I put it up earlier. It is literally uploaded yesterday, so you can go check it out. But yes, enjoy Misfits 12. Enjoy the weekend. Have fun. I'll come back for another video. My next video will probably be the Fidel ranking Jake and KSI, hopefully. But I'll see you soon. Have a great day. Think positive. Stay safe. Enjoy Misfits 12. I'll see you in the next video. So, peace. Fearless.